and I love the way they play, but at times it's a bit boring, and football is about scoring goals. Unfortunately, today they didn't really create a lot of big chances, and they didn't manage to score goals, and that's how it goes.
Let's have a look at the penalties then, because there were 3 misses for Spain, which is why the game was won in the end by Morocco, and that penalty that we just saw. And this is the first one. This is Sarabia, who actually missed a brilliant chance earlier on, How, as well.
Yeah, he did. You know, his chance, we'll look at his chance again, but Morata into the second one. Slow penalty. Everyone's doing this slow run up, and if you don't put it in the back of the net, it doesn't look great. And obviously this one here, Busquets, slow again. You know, have a bit of purpose. You know, run up to the ball, put it in the back of the net. The frustration now on those players, they'll be devastated. But this here, Joey, that's one out of your book, isn't it?
I've never taken a penalty like that. Certainly not at this level. That is unbelievable. My eyes keep getting drawn to the fans and the parties. I don't know when they're going to stop tonight. You know, there's no letting up on the party. The manager, you know, I've been impressed with him. The subs he's made, the timing, the changes in the players, the tactics. Whenever you see a good team, there's always a good manager behind them. You know, because like you said, he galvanised them. Yeah. Like Ziyech come back into the fold, and I've watched Ziyech for 2 years at Chelsea. He's never put a shift in like that in a blue shirt. Tonight he was outstanding defensively. I know what he can do on the ball. I know he can create things and handle the football. But he was just 2 men out there tonight. Amrabat, outstanding, as good as a holding midfielder we've seen at the tournament in terms of defensive instincts. The 2 centre halves, heroes. 4 centre halves, because they both had to come off, and the standard still was there. It's just an unbelievable performance. Unbelievable.
Spain had a lot of possession, as we'd expected, actually, and it was in the last minute of extra time that Sarabia did this, and it was so close, as close possibly, Hal, as it could get. I
mean, they were controlling the ball around the Moroccan box consistently for over 10 minutes, but here it goes wide, and you can see, you know, Sarabia, he's back stick free. And we said it before, it's a glorious chance, and he will be scratching his head now thinking, oh my, that needed to nestle in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's probably going to keep him awake for a lot of this. I would not be able to sleep for a week, 2, 3 maybe.
And his penalty as well probably will, Joe.
And his penalty, and the footballing gods, you know, that's it. That's what that is. That is the width of a post. I know how that feels. Personally, he'll be in decades down the line. He'll be reliving that moment, and the football can be beautiful, and we see it's beautiful watching Morocco. But for Spain, it can be cruel, and for that young man, it's cruel tonight. You know, it's why we love it. But he's done everything right as the ball's come over. He's got a strong foot on it. He's gone across the goalkeeper, like Hal was saying. And it just wasn't meant to be, and it's cruel. But this team is young, and it will come again. And it is a changing of the guard tonight with Sergio Busquets. We would imagine this will be his last World Cup, but they've got enough quality; they'll come again.
Morocco had to really dig deep, and they used 5 subs in the second half, and they looked tired, but they managed to hold on, didn't they? Let's show a little bit of their defending and how important that was to this game, Hal.
Yeah, I think, you know, towards the end of the game, they had men literally limping around the pitch, and actually, you know, Amrabat, from the first minute, you could see that he was covering ground. Here, he doesn't need to go out there, but he's the one. It's his responsibility to make sure that he's cleaning up all of the areas where Spain could have hurt them. Saiss here again, you know, they were willing to step in and be real defensively minded at times when other defenders maybe would step off a little bit and give them a little bit more space, but they would have seen how Spain hurt Costa Rica, particularly in that first game, with bits of play like this, and that defending is phenomenal. As a last man, incredible.
Do you know what I was thinking? As the game was in its first 20-30 minutes and the midfield was a lot of work in front of them, the defenders didn't have to do any work. And you're almost, as a midfielder, you're going, I'm putting a shift in now, I'm shutting people down, I'm putting a shift in now. But come the last 15-20 minutes, when we're backed off and you defend properly, you'd make sure you do your job. And Agerd and Saiss, they did.
Look at
every time the ball come in, recovery runs, you know, discipline, throwing their body in the way.
Incredible.
Just outstanding.
Yeah.
Committed.
It's and again, you know, they had to do this. They would have known before the game Spain are going to have opportunities. The bodies in the box. Again, you don't get that. Joey said it. You know, Ziyech has not put a display in like that for Chelsea, but he was literally on the corner of his own 18-yard box for majorities of the game. Phenomenal.
Yeah, and I also want to highlight defense, I think they played a huge factor today for Morocco. Every time, they didn't have the momentum, I felt they carried them out, Every time there's a tackle, they're just behind them. Every time they're attacking, that's going to give you the energy, and I felt that, especially at the end when you have nothing to give and it's only your heart and defense carrying you. That helped them a lot. Also, obviously, during the penalty shootout.
How you've been in this position, right, when your team goes further in a competition than anybody expected that you would do. You did it at the Euros with Wales. What are they feeling right now?
Look, they'll be riding on the crest of a wave now, and they all know that they have given their all to get through. And it's games like today where actually every single man has to play their part. We spoke about the goalkeeper, Bono, the saves that he had to make. We've spoken about Amrabat in that defensive role, plugging the gaps, and we spoke about the likes of Ziyech, Hakimi down that right-hand side. Even Boufal in the first half, he looked like a world beater at times, and every single man has to really play their part to create nights like this, and that's what they've created. They've created history, and those feelings, it brings back memories, because getting through to the quarterfinal of a major tournament is one of the best feelings in the world.
Joe, at what point, not that I want to take the celebrations away from them now, but at what point do they have to settle back down, put their feet on the ground and go, right, we need to go again?
Oh, good question. I don't think any of them will be asleep before sunrise tonight. The adrenaline will be too much. They've just had, for the majority of them, probably all of them, they've just had the night of their lives. They've had the night of their lives, and they'll be sitting there and they'll be talking about it, and they'll have a warm down tomorrow, and they've got another mountain to climb in 4 days. They got Portugal or Switzerland waiting for them, but that at the moment that's not even crossed their mind. They're just living. I would say, if I was in that camp now, I'd be just telling every one of them, just take it all in, go and see your family. You've done it. For me, the best moment in moments like this was when this was great. When you got back into the dressing room and it's just you with your teammates. Nothing better than that.
Never had an African side in the semi-final of the World Cup, but this Moroccan side will feel they can do it, Nadia.
Yeah, I mean, the way they've been playing, this belief, this faith that they're coming with. It's a team no one was thinking about that they're going to beat Spain today. Not a lot of people. And they did it. And then, as you said, right now, take it in, enjoy the moment, and then take the next game. You never know what's going to happen. It's football.
Maybe we'll do it for them, Hal. We'll look ahead, because like Joe said, look, it's going to be Portugal or Switzerland. On that performance, if you're the coach, what are you wanting from them? What do they need to improve on? Goals?
No, look, they'll obviously they'll have an eye on the Switzerland and Portugal game, but when you look at both of those teams, they all fancy themselves. They played against the big teams already, this Moroccan team, and they've done well. They've stuck in games, and they're hard to beat. And sometimes in tournaments, to win the tournaments, you need to score goals. You need to really be able to open up teams. But actually, to get towards the latter round, sometimes being defensively solid and hard to beat can make you go far. And so that's what I see in this Moroccan team, and they will fancy themselves to give another display like that in 4 days' time.
The next game that we are going to be having on ITV, Portugal against Switzerland. Team losers come through. No Ronaldo, he's on the bench,
wow.
Joe.
Wow.
We did, for our viewers that didn't hear this earlier on, he had a potential falling out with the manager. Manager said he didn't appreciate the way off. It looked like he might have let out a bad word. Ronaldo said that was to an opposition player, but apparently it didn't go down too well. He is on the bench. What does that mean for the game?
Well, that is a bold, brave decision by the manager. I suppose it's a decision that's easier to make when you've won trophies for your country, and I don't think anyone in Portugal's name stands next to Ronaldo, but the manager's name is powerful, because he's done great things for that country. I think he would have deliberated over it. Obviously, Ronaldo isn't playing as well. He isn't playing at his club. He hasn't lit up the tournament so far. I think it's a brave, bold decision, and we'll know in about 2-3 hours whether it's worked.
We really will. So one more place to book then in the quarterfinals. This is how it's looking at the moment. That game is coming right up. And these are the teams that have already booked their places. So you can see there, England against France, which we have on ITV on Saturday. Netherlands against Argentina. Wow, that's going to be a brilliant game as well. You can see Croatia and Brazil at the bottom of your screen there too. That Netherlands-Argentina game, Hal, are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, again, it's another big game. You know, it's starting to really feel like a World Cup now. The big boys in this competition are beginning to turn up. You know, we saw what Messi did in that game. He's got the bit between his teeth, and he wants to deliver. And I think anyone who's a neutral, they're going to want to see Argentina win because of Messi and because of what it will mean to the legacy of his name. But yeah, it's it's exciting.
England France on Saturday, and there is also another bit of news there. Kylian Mbappe apparently didn't train with the team today. There's no hint that he has an injury or anything like that. Read into that what you will. What will the England players read into that, Joe?
Well, if Kylian Mbappe's name, for one reason or not, doesn't come on the team sheet, that's a massive lift for England. I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I said, I just think it's just so exciting now. Like Hal said, we're getting to that stage now. We've got England on Saturday night. We've just had an amazing shock, amazing game, seen amazing scenes, and I just can't wait for the game.
And you've got Brazil, Croatia, and Brazil are playing just like you want Brazil to play, aren't they, Nadia?
I know, so many amazing games coming up. The England-France game, I just want to say, you know, I'm so happy that I'm not cheering any of these teams. As a fan, I'm just looking forward to this game. I'm going to have my popcorn now.
You're not cheering England, Nadia?
I'm sorry, but I just want some entertainment, a bit of drama. It's the reality. And I'm just going to be eating my popcorn. I'm like, oh my God. And I want 120 minutes of football. And yeah, to the Croatia-Brazil game, you know, Brazil is up in the gear, and they're the way they're playing, I think one of the favorites in this tournament. Their attack is amazing. You know, the Joga Bonito, you saw it yesterday. Great defensively, have some of the best keepers in the Premier League. Midfield has both, you know, they have the flair and that grit, that power. They're going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. How we've already been treated to some brilliant moments in this World Cup. The football's been amazing, and that's another one to add to the memories, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, it's always great to see when teams make history, and you know, commiserations obviously to Spain, but actually for us here, we definitely feel Morocco deserved that. We felt that energy in this stadium. It was electric, and the fans here, you know, it's a credit to the World Cup and to the players.
And they are still here. The game is over. It's done. The fans are still in the bottom tiers. The team have gone inside. That is it from us, guys. You've been absolutely brilliant company. Thank you so much we're all holding each other's hands in that. It was amazing, actually. And they were the team next to us. That actually is a Spanish TV crew, and they had their hands over their faces the whole time. They couldn't look, and I dare look at them at the moment. Right, Morocco are through on penalties, which we'll see in a moment. No goals at the moment, but actually it's been a rather lively game, quite an enjoyable